20 Filipinos were recently arrested in Qatar for allegedly participating in an authorized political demonstration in support of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Now, joining us this morning via Zoom is Hans Leo Cacdac, the Secretary of the Department of Migrant Workers, to give us updates. Good morning, Secretary Hans.
Yeah, good morning, George, and to your televiewers. Good morning po.
Sir, firstly, mainit na mainit po yung ating mga OFWs after the arrest of the former president, whether they are pro or anti na po. What's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is our OFWs have been known to be law-abiding. Kaya sila, among other things, kaya sila in demand, no? Anywhere in the world. The quality in which our OFWs serve and are good citizens or residents of the host country. Now, if there are OFWs who violate, no, who become wayward and violate ang mga batas ng host country, then paiirali natin yung reminder natin, constant reminder sa ating mga OFWs na galangin ang batas ng host country, regulations, and I would even go so far as to say yung kaugalian, yung kultura ng host countries. Galangin po ninyo ito at patuloy kayong manilbihan ng husto sa inyong tanyag na pamamaraan sa inyong mga employers para sa kinabukasan ng inyong mga pamilya.
Because if they are not abiding with the laws of the land, sabi nyo nga, it's not reflective of how Filipinos are being perceived worldwide.
That's right. That's right. I was a child of a former OFW and I saw it with my father and my mother na talagang law-abiding sila. And I too, no? I managed to live abroad and natutunan ko rin ang kagawian at kung paano ang kahalagahan ng pagsunod sa batas ng host country.
Kahit naman po siguro hindi abroad, kahit sa ating bansa, dapat maging law-abiding citizens tayo. Secretary, let's talk about the Qatar case. Ano po yung nangyari doon sa 20 OFWs natin?
Well, the investigations are yet to unfold. Yung bilang is still being ascertained. The last report I got was 20, but we started at 17. We know that this began as some sort of a gathering in a beach resort. Again, I will postpone any conclusive findings of fact until the Qatari authorities have made their own findings. It is within their jurisdiction after all. But we know that there was some gathering where emotions ran high up to the point when they had made political statements or actions that eventually violated yung laws on illegal assembly and mass actions in the state of Qatar. Now, these are the charges. These are the facts that are in our hands so far. But again, I will always defer to the specific findings of the Qatari authorities. It is, after all, within their jurisdiction to do so.
But Secretary, were they arrested right there and then during the so-called activity of the Filipino community?
Yeah, as far as we know, yes.
All right.
There are women OFWs involved. There are children, at least 3, and we know that three others are still being ascertained in terms of their location kung saan kulungan silang dinala. Iba-ibang kulungan kasi. So, our labor attaché on the ground, who's a lawyer, and working closely with our embassy, is ascertaining all these details at the moment.
Kamusta naman po yung kalagayan po nila sa kulungan po?
Well, as far as I know, we are still in the effort of seeing them face to face. So, that's as far as I will go at this stage, but we are coordinating with the Qatari authorities through the one country team put together by our Ambassador Melicor on the ground.
Sir, ano po yung mga assistance na naibibigay po natin sa kanila?
Well, we're duty-bound to provide legal assistance. And at this stage, legal assistance, of course, will ascertain whether they are treated in accordance with the laws of a criminally accused individual. So that means due process and counsel, right to counsel, and freedom from inhuman treatment during detention. These are the basic tenets that we are looking out for at this stage.
Sir, ano po yung posibleng kaharapin nila? I mean, consequences of what they did. Of course, there are local laws po na binabanggit nyo nga na yun yung ating pinagbabatayan ng lahat ng to. But definitely, kawawa din naman po yung mga kababayan natin.
Well, there are many, in social media, there are many perceived or projected consequences, imprisonment, deportation, fines, and such. But at this stage, I will postpone any determination kung ano exactly ang coverage nito ng possible penalties because I am still awaiting the report from the Qatari side. Our people are coordinating on the ground before we make any type of conclusion or finding as to ano ang potential possible penalties because the matter is currently under investigation.
Alright. Sir, yun pong panawagan na zero remittance ng mga OFW hanggat hindi po na iuuwi si former President Duterte. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but my thinking there, and if we've made the proper announcement, our stern reminder to our OFWs, it's one thing to be involved in the emotionality of political action or the political debate or discussion. But when it comes to remittances, again, being a former OFW child myself, the reminder is maging mahinahon po, be circumspect, arrive at your best judgment given the reality na sila'y OFWs para sa kinabukasan ng kanilang pamilya. And I've always trusted our dear OFWs to come to the right judgment. Nakita ko yung kahalagahan ng remittance being, again, a former OFW child myself. And so, ang alam ko, ang mga OFWs, nandiyan dyan sila para sa kinabukasan ng kanilang pamilya. Ang ating Pangulo dito sa Pilipinas nagsisikap sa pamamagitan ng pagpapalakas ng ating ekonomiya para mabigyan din ng kinabukasan, sapat na kinabukasan ang inyong mga pamilya. Kaya dalawa on two fronts, no? OFWs at ang pamahalaan dito are working toward a bright future for their families. So again, our call is to provide themselves with the proper informed judgment, no? Mahinahon lamang bago mag-usga o magdesisyon patungkol sa kanilang mga kung paano nila gagamitin ang kanilang kita. And I've always, again, I trust the OFWs that they will arrive at the proper judgment here.
Second, outside the ICC detention facility, mismong si Vice President Sara Duterte, she's asking our OFWs to refrain from entering the premises of the ICC. I'm not sure. How are we talking to them? Meron ba tayong pinadalang tao po doon to continuously remind them and talk to them about what they can and can't do?
Well, when we say OFW should obey host country laws, of course, we mean to say Qatar and the Gulf states, Middle East, but also all parts of the world, right? And that includes Europe, that includes OFWs in the Netherlands or OFWs in Europe. Who are in the Netherlands or in The Hague to observe the proper protocols in The Hague, in the Netherlands, in Europe. So again, there is freedom of expression and assembly, but there are of course regulations pertaining to the exercise of these freedoms. So sundan po yung mga patakaran at mga protocols patungkol diyan, and I'm sure that in a facility such as the ICC, there are also proper regulations, just as in any other government or international organization facility. Merong mga proper ways in which you will express sentiments or behave and obey certain regulations for the sake of law and order.
This is technically not new po kasi yung OFWs naman natin worldwide, they carry out activities, celebrations, and they follow rules, they get permits, etc. from the host government.
Yeah, tanyag tayo dyan, di ba? Kaya in demand ang OFW, not just for the technical skill, not just for the puso, for the heart to serve, but also for being law-abiding residents or citizens of the host countries, whether it's OFWs or overseas Filipinos. So again, I have my full trust and confidence in our dear OFWs with regard to obeying host country laws.
Sir, I'm not sure if you received this information already, but there are rumors that even OFWs in Singapore who carried out similar activities during the birthday of the former president are being investigated as well. No arrest yet, but authorities are looking for them. Do you have that information?
Well, I know, I won't name the country, but I know that there was a case where the authorities had noticed that what seemed to be a friendly gathering turned out to be a political, should I say, political action, mass action. And so there is an investigation without any arrests. So these things are happening as we speak. I won't name the country, but ang reminder lang natin sa mga kababayan natin ay merong mga kaparaanan at mga batas at mga regulasyon. And it so happens that law enforcement authorities in host countries can be mindful of the things that we do there. And one of those things could be investigation. One of those things could be monitoring activities. So mag-ingat lang po at always be guided by host country laws and regulations.
Sir, just to clarify, apart from Qatar, there's another country investigating OFWs in relation to those protests. But you don't want to name it for now.
We monitor the reports on a daily basis.
Okay.
And we know for sure that some actions have already been brought to the attention of law enforcement authorities of some host countries. So let's just be mindful that these things can go on. Of course, the most serious scenario would be arrests, such as what happened in Qatar. But drawing the attention of law enforcement or the host country government could be another scenario, right? So mag-ingat lang po, be mindful of host country laws and regulations. I will never, I cannot overemphasize that point.
All right. Thank you very much, Secretary Hans Kakdak, for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Take care. God bless.
We'll give you another revealing interview tomorrow when Attorney Karen Jimeno sits down on an exclusive interview with Attorney Harry Roque at The Hague. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news, always stay at the forefront. Join us again tomorrow for meaningful conversations that would help you form an objective personal opinion. On behalf of Attorney Karen Jimeno, I am George Cahiles. Thank you for spending your hour with us.